I'm working with energy photography, and as you can tell, my energy is very high today. I'm feeling so many beautiful things happening, and so many things that need to be healed are really heightened right now. And there's all this retrograding happening. I don't follow astrology that closely, but I know it in my soul. And then I know a lot of people who are authentic and share the information that I need to know to confirm what my soul feels. One of the things that I've been experiencing, and I was also working with a client, and I've been finding this, and I talk a little bit about it in another video that I did when I talk about the strings of existence and things that are occurring. So the things that I can feel and see with the retrograding, so I haven't studied astrology, but the things that I can feel and see is that the planets are, when they're in retrograde, means they're reversing their spin. So energetically, our body's polarity is being reversed, so it becomes offset. So things come up for you. For example, if you have been feeling in the past that you were being too soft or too gentle, a retrograde would make you feel on the other side of that, which is more assertive, more maybe even aggressive if you're not used to being assertive. And one of the things that I've recognized that is also occurring while this is occurring, and this is when I've been working on clients. So I've been working on the energy. I'm in my highest state. My physical body is empty, and I'm just the observer and the channeler. And I've noticed that, and it's a client of mine in particular, she's also a healer. She does this Blue Star Reiki. Her name is Josie. She was separated, like her whole energy body had these like black cracks in her field. Like if you can imagine, we're a whole but on multiple levels, and included in that whole is light. They're called photons, and these photons are your energy body. So what's happening, and what I've been seeing while I'm doing this healing and since then, and I've recognized, as that when the retrogrades are happening, or we're awakening to this higher consciousness knowledge and these higher memories, we start getting pulled by the strings of existence. And these strings of existence, when they're pulling on us in all these retrogrades, what happens is that they create these black cracks, they create these holes. We're literally getting split apart. We're literally have spaces in between all our light body and the pieces that are connected with what's happening in the greater consciousness, in the micro and the macro with the planets, that's where it's being pulled. So what I've been doing is I've been consciously connecting with the light that's in the strings, that's being pulled away, releasing that through either cutting cords, or maybe it's a past life connection, or maybe it's just some type of emotional attachment to a memory in a past life. Like there's so many levels of it, and I pull it all together. It's almost like you can envision sewing the strings and sewing the aura and sewing those cracks and filling those holes back together. And I express love into those cracks. And what I saw happening when I started doing this with my client and friend, and also a healer, is all these aspects of her body and herself started kind of like fluctuating in and coming back together. It was very, I was witnessing the matrix, all the different layers of aspects and selves, and all the different timelines and multiverses coming back together into her one body. And this was so important. I realized in that moment the physical impact and the emotional impact and the consciousness impact that's occurring when all this is happening is so much greater than I even knew until this moment. And so by pulling her back together, sewing her back together, I mean, I think we've communicated since then. She was a support at the Qigong event that I did. She was a sponsor. And so I think she's feeling well and doing well. But anyway, one of the things that helps me is drumming. and earthing. I'm sitting in the forest right now. I found a beautiful spot in between a group of trees that made a little hollow, and I have my drum, my medicine drum, and I love to connect with the earth, the soil, the dirt. I'm literally sitting on the ground on a scarf, and I like to drum the heartbeat, and sometimes I'll start drumming a journey beat, or I'll hear sounds from the ancestors around me, and that's what I'm doing here today. So I've got my smudge, my drum, my poncho. Drumming is hands down my personal favorite way to release emotions, story, to ground, to connect. Thank you for joining me.